Our guest is Jessica Strickland, horticulture agent with the County of Wayne. Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Always good to see you.
Yes.
Thanks for coming by.
It's good to see you.
A couple of things we want to talk about. Normally we would be outdoors. The weather's not permitting our doing that today, but another day perhaps.
Yes.
But we want to talk about pruning.
Yes.
Now we're not talking about prunes, right?
That's right.
Okay, we're talking about pruning.
Yeah, pruning.
Which is the growing of prunes. Maybe not.
Maybe not.
All right, what are we talking? All right, we're talking about pruning. Why do we prune shrubs? Why do we cut back trees? Why do we do any of that?
And this is the time of year, late winter. February is usually the big month that we talk a lot about pruning. And people asked, what can I prune now versus what can I not? And a lot of times we're looking at most of our trees and a lot of our shrubs. We prune them during this time because you're cleaning them up. It's easier to clean them up whenever you don't have leaves and so forth growing. You can see what branches you need to cut out and trim. But two, it gets it cleaned up and gets it ready whenever you get that burst of growth in the springtime.
If you are pruning while the weather is ultra warm and the weather is ultra good, then you stand a risk, do you not? You
do. We're getting late enough in the winter. We're okay now, but if you go back December, Christmas, when we had a lot of warm weather, we did have a few questions about pruning, and we were advising people not to prune because we knew we were still going to get some cold weather like we ended up getting recently.
The problem would be if you prune, it spurts new growth, and new growth could be damaged with frost.
Exactly, yes. So, so you want to, late winter's the time you want to prune, because then once you're past that point, there's going to be enough growth and less likely to have a cold freeze.
So is there anything in the dead of winter that you should not prune?
There is a few things. Your spring blooming shrubs is a big one you don't want to prune this time of year.
That would be what, for instance?
That would be, for example, forsythia.
The big yellow.
Yes, that should be showing up here
real
soon. Azaleas is another big group you want to avoid. Usually most of your hydrangeas you wait till after they finish flowering. The flowers on those types of shrubs, because they bloom in the spring, the flower buds form in the fall. So the flower buds are on there, they're waiting. So if you prune now, you're cutting off all your flowers before you see them.
Okay, but now if you do, if you do start pruning now and you cut new buds off that actually formed last fall, you're not going to hurt the plant, you just cut your flowers off.
That's right. You're probably not going to hurt the plant, you're just going to cut some flowers off. So for some people, whenever their azaleas get too big, they do look at cutting them way back to the ground every few years. And that's okay, you just expect that you're not going to have many flowers for this year.
Yeah. So, okay, so azaleas, forsythia, hydrangeas.
Hydrangeas. That's the big groups right off. But it's any of your spring blooming, like some of the spireas that bloom in the spring, like baby's breath, and so forth. So there's several spring blooming, Weigelia, those types that bloom in the spring. You want to avoid those.
Avoid pruning those or cutting those back. But anything else, just about anything else is wide open.
Yeah, your shade trees are fine. Summer blooming shrubs like, well, crepe myrtles are kind of trees, shrubs, but they fall in that summer blooming category. That's okay to prune those now, and you want to prune those because those flower buds are going to start forming soon, so now's the time to get them pruned.
Get those done before they start.
Yes.
And also understand that if you prune them now and you get a burst of growth and flowers and all that during the summer, that the minute they start dying out, the flowers start expiring, you can actually prune them again, and you might get a rebirth, a regrowth.
You can with some plants like that. You can get some more growth in the summer. We usually recommend use some caution as you're getting later in the summer, because again, it goes back to that you're pruning and getting a burst of growth that could end up with some winter injury going into fall and winter.
All right. So whatever you're going to prune, you need to do it right away.
Yes.
All right. And does that include pampas grass, ornamental grasses?
Yeah, your ornamental grass, cutback. A whole other group is a lot of your fruit trees, grapes, blueberries. A lot of the fruit-producing plants, you're pruning those back now because you're getting it cleaned up, getting it ready for fruit production, flowering and fruit production in the spring.
That's big right now.
Yes, and you look at that a little differently because your shrubs and trees, you're pruning for the appearance, for them to look nice. Those you're pruning more for getting good fruit production. So they're all a little different how you prune them, but you're looking at, like with grapes, you get a lot of growth in one year. You're cutting that growth way back to where you just have a couple of buds from last year's growth. And from those two buds, from each of those spots, you're going to get more growth there. And so you're pruning it for the fruit production, not for the looks necessarily.
And we're talking grapes here, but now there's a lot of grapevines in the area, and in fact, there's a couple of commercial operations.
There is, yeah. We've got some commercial operations, and a lot of people have them in their backyard and so forth.
We went out a couple of years ago and talked to the lady out at the Secret Garden.
Yes.
And what is that, Pikeville?
Yes, Pikeville.
Yeah. Wow, that's a nice operation.
It is, yeah. She's got a great operation and does a wonderful job, so it's a nice place to go visit.
And her wines have won some awards.
They have, yes. They have won some awards.
So we might want to go back out there sometime.
Yeah. That'd be great.
Sounds good.
Yes.
Okay, Jessica, we also wanted to mention and talk about bees.
Yeah, I did want to mention as far as what's been going on in the office. We've finished up our bee school last Saturday. Beekeepers of the News, our local